Stowers Jr. with a sensational TKO victory over Javier Castro, and now 4 rounds of junior middleweights, including this man, Daniel Stowers, who is about to make his pro debut. Came in at 6'1", 153, 27 years old. He's from nearby Riverside, California. And in terms of his experience, an amateur career of only 17 fights compared to Josh Conley, who had 110 amateur fights, was a semifinalist in the 2009 National Golden Gloves. This the 3rd fight of his pro career, 2-0 with 2 knockouts. 20 years old, 5'10", 157.
And I'm favoring the younger guy, Conley, because of that amateur background.
Donte Stowers is 27 years old. Joshua Conley, 20 years old.
You ready?
Lou Moret, the referee, scheduled for 4, and they're underway.
27, a bit old to make a pro debut in boxing. Both these fighters, Joe, took the fight on 3 days' notice, and it shows, at least for Conley. Came in 5 pounds heavier than his last fight only 2.5 months ago, heaviest of his short career. And, well, for the debuting Stowers, came in 153. We don't know if this is heavy or normal weight for him, since this is his debut and no previous weights to compare it to. But what we do know is Conley came in 2 pounds heavy over the contracted agreed weight, and he's a little lighter in the pockets. 20% of his purse was taken away. 10% goes to the commission. 10% goes to his opponent, Stowers.
Stowers is 6'1", but he's curling up when he gets into that defensive posture with Conley on the attack. See that long goatee on Donte Stowers, Teddy. Many times the commission will take issue with some of the facial hair on a fighter when they see them at the weigh-in the day before and ask for them to trim that back. They don't want it to be any type of hindrance or safety issue or a defensive advantage of protecting your chin there, such is the case with Stowers.
Well, one thing that Conley,
Whoa, stop.
a man younger by 7 years and a man with more amateur fights, quite a few more amateur fights. One thing he has to deal with that can be a little bit of a problem. He has to deal with Stowers in the red, who's a southpaw. And being that this fight was on short notice, guess what? Joe Conley had no time to spar and get ready with a southpaw.
Come on. Let's box, guys. Let's box.
And you could see Conley maybe a little hesitant because of that big, tall lefty in front of him. He's trying to figure it out.
Conley comes forward that time, and awkwardly Stowers backs in and ducks under the rope, and now pushed off balance is Donte Stowers.
Well, you just said it right. Awkwardly, Stowers comes in, and he is awkward. Being a southpaw, all over the place, leaning forward, giving up his height. And that's why you see maybe a little bit of the tentativeness, a little bit, that you see from Conley trying to figure it out. We had an old saying, me and Customado, years ago when I was up in Catskill. And this looks like it's
that is being ruled a knockdown.
6, 7, 8. Well, it doesn't matter, he hit you.
I'll get back to that old saying the next round.
So Joshua Conley scores a knockdown at the end of 1. As we are coming to you from this outdoor venue in San Jacinto. Next week we will see Ruslan Provodnikov. Always great offense from Ruslan. That'll be nearby in Corona, California. And then Cristobal Cruz, the veteran, will be on the air July 6th. Look who's fighting on July 13th in Chicago, Teddy. Glenn Johnson, the old road warrior. And then July 27th, hammering Hank Lundy, who's been on a tear. Those the next few weeks of Friday night fights.
Glenn Johnson, one of our favorite fighters, the former world champion. Let's take a look at this knockdown here. Not a knockdown, a push, a cuff. Not a knockdown. The referee did not see it correctly, and he scored it a knockdown. Happens sometimes. It happened again tonight. You can see what really happened there with the help that the referee doesn't have. We have of a video replay, and that's an argument right there for having video replay. You know, in between that minute round, if you're not sure it's a knockdown, take a look at the video. We have it. When it's a TV fight, I think you should use the sophistication that's out there.
I agree with you, Teddy. The problem is that you need the administrators ringside to understand that they only have those 60 seconds, that we're not going to pause action in a fight. We're not going to disrupt the nature and rules of the sport.
It's got to be set up ahead of time.
Yeah.
You look at it real quick.
You have an official ringside who has the ability, much like when replay first came into college football, and the Big Ten was using basically a system with a DVR or a TiVo, and one guy sat up there and just looked back at what he wanted to see. And he could, just like the ringside official here who looks up and gives the count, he could be the guy to say, okay, I'm looking at this, and I'm going to look up and say, by the way, let's overrule that for the judges. Do not make that a 10-8 round.
Well, we're not going to be looking at Stowers much longer. I mean, he's very raw, doesn't know how to use his height at all, trying to be game, trying to be aggressive, not effectively, just walking in, giving up his height, leaning forward, making him susceptible to uppercuts and to body shots.
He takes a knee right there, and Lou Moret says, you know what, I've seen enough. You are not, I believe he's basically saying, you're not capable of competing and really holding your own in there
Joe,
and defending yourself.
What he basically said was he echoed what I had just said a few seconds earlier, that exactly that he's very raw, not ready for this kind of challenge.
And that's what the commission is supposed to determine prior to sending them into the ring. They're supposed to be able to assess the situation and say to themselves, okay, we understand what this fighter is, who he's opposite against, and this will be a competitive bout. And Lou Moret took it into his own hands.
Yeah, he saw exactly what we saw and what the fans at home saw, a non-competitive fight, an outclassed opponent. And he did what you do with outclassed opponents. He stopped it before it went any further. He may have missed the knockdown early, Moret, but he didn't miss what was most important. He saw that one guy had no chance, and he stopped the fight.
Let's send it up to the ring for the official particulars.
Referee Lunarex stepped in to stop the bout at 1 minute and 24 seconds of round number 2 for the winner by TKO and still undefeated Joshua YG Conley.
The YG, he says, is his nickname. It stands for Young Gunner. Joshua Conley, completely overmatched. Donte Stowers was dismissed by Lou Moret, so Conley now 3-0.